Hi Connor, hi Jacob, hi Diego, and hi Matthew. I am just putting together this really quick video. You don't have any math assignments yet, but I wanted to share with you what I shared with my math classes today. Since today is Monday, it's math. I want to go over the 3 books. First of all, how I'm going to use them and what to expect this year. So first, we have Math Simple Solutions. Today, you did lesson 1 for your morning work. That's also what all the students in 4th grade did today. And remember that in the back of the book, there are help pages. If you have any questions about this, please email me and let me know if you need any help. I believe that you used these last year, so you should understand how this works. It shouldn't be new to you. Our textbook is this. It is the hardback book. This is the textbook. And I really like, if you go to the second page with print on it, it looks like this. Welcome to Sadler Math. And I'll read it with you. It's got a nice little letter from the editors and authors of this textbook. Dear 4th grader, do you know why math is important? Well, we use math every day. We all use math every day. We use it when we design a sign. So when we design a sign, think about how we use math for that. We need to measure the sign. We need to make sure that it is big enough or small enough to fit where we want it. We need to make sure the letters fit correctly and the images fit correctly, so that requires measurement. We use it when we find populations. So today in class, I asked students, I counted all the students that were present in class today. So let's say there were 18 students, and I did a poll. I said, raise your hand if your favorite color is red. And then I wrote down a fraction showing how many people like the color red over the total number of people in the class. So let's say that 7 people liked red and there were 18 total in class. I would write 7 over 18 as my fraction. And I did this for the rest of the colors as well until all of our numerators, top numbers, equaled 18. Now, if you don't understand all of what I just said, that's fine. I also want to make it clear to you that I understand we went into NTI very quickly in the spring, and if you are not feeling comfortable with 4th grade level math yet, that's totally fine. For the next couple of math classes on Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to be assigning 3rd grade review to see kind of where you're at. So if you're not feeling comfortable with having mastered 3rd grade math yet, that is totally fine. I don't want you to worry about that. We will take care of it. Continuing on with this letter, some more examples of how we use math in everyday life to describe art, talking about angles and waves and curves. Shipping a package, so we have to weigh a package. We have to measure the dimensions of a package, the length, the width, the height, and how far it's going to go. Usually that factors into how much it costs. Designing a seating plan. So when I was designing the seating charts for my classroom for the students that came in person, I had to measure them being 4 feet apart. And I spent an entire afternoon moving desks around until I felt like they fit well. It was exhausting, but it certainly required math. So some things I want to focus on this page. Objective, right? This is what you will be studying in the lesson. So for every lesson that we have, there's going to be an objective. Another word for objective is goal. And the state of Kentucky and the Archdiocese of Louisville have a list of learning goals for every grade, for every subject. And so my job is to get you to understand the learning goals that are expected of you for math in 4th grade, that are through the state and through the Archdiocese. And I will be providing that. You will know what the learning goal is or objective for every lesson. You'll know what you are learning and why. Next, we have math words. So these are vocabulary words that help you understand what we're doing in math. So if you think of geometry, you think of different shapes. A word for a shape is polygon. Polygon means a multiple-sided figure, starting with triangle. Another word we use in math to describe polygons is called attribute. An attribute is a characteristic. So I have short brown hair, I have brown eyes, I'm tall. Those are my attributes as a person. Polygons or shapes in geometry also have attributes. For example, a square has 2 pairs of parallel lines. So 2 lines that run equally apart this way and 2 lines that run equally apart this way. It's the best way I can describe parallel lines. 2 pairs of parallel lines. They also have 4 right angles. So an angle that looks exactly like an L, that's called a 90-degree angle, and a square has 4 of them. A square also has all equal sides. All the sides are of equal length. Versus a rectangle, which has 2 sides that are the same length, and then 2 other sides that are the same length as each other, but different than the original 2 sides that we talked about. So a square has 3 attributes that I talked about, whereas the rectangle only has 2, 2 pairs of parallel lines and right angles, but not equal sides. That's just an example of how we're going to use vocabulary in our math class. We are also going to use real world situations where you will use math. So as much as possible, I'm going to have you use math in a real world way. And one way that I was telling the other classes that I like to use 4th grade level math is every day is cooking. Now, I would have been a Food Network star if I had followed another dream I had. I love teaching, but another dream that I had was to be a chef. And I would have loved to be a Food Network star and have my own restaurant and travel shows. And one way that you use fractions every day is with cooking. You use a 1/2 cup of this, 1/4 teaspoon of this, or 1/4 teaspoon of this ingredient. And that's just one example of where we use math that I really like to use in the classroom. We're also going to write about it. Now, I know that you've done write about it in activities in your math workbook. This is the paperback workbook that you have. And I was told that if the write about it questions or prompts were too complicated or difficult to understand, then you would skip over it. But I am also going to occasionally assign math journal entries where you're going to write about times that you use something that we're learning about in class. Like I just talked about fractions, and when I use fractions, you could answer a journal entry by saying, oh, I use fractions when I am measuring something I'm building. I do, this is 2 1/4 inch, and this is 6 inches, and this is 5 1/2 inches. Whatever works for you, how you use what we're doing in math at the time in your life. If I say we're having a journal entry on that, then you write about what is meaningful to you. We're gonna have practice. In the book, there are pages that have practice on them. And then once you feel more comfortable with that, I also am assigning extra practice and homework here. So typically, let's see, homework has the purple heading, and I will not assign you more than 15 problems in a homework for a homework assignment, okay? No more than 15. Between 10 and 15 usually. That is what Mrs. Cox did last year and what she recommended to me, so that's what I'm going to do with you guys. And when you turn it in, I think that as an online student you could scan it and then upload it to the assignment on Google Classroom and turn it in that way. A quick story I'll tell you about math for me is, as you all know, you had me for Spanish last year. You could probably guess that languages, that's my favorite thing to learn. It was my favorite class in school. Any language class I was taking was my favorite in school. I like learning languages for no reason. I do it in my free time. But my least favorite subject when I was your age was math. I wasn't bad at it. I made A's and B's, but it just, I didn't find the use of it. And it's because, not that I had bad teachers, I had wonderful teachers, but maybe they also didn't like math and they just didn't know how to make it relatable in a real world situation. And so I kind of dread math. I thought it was kind of boring until 10th grade. I finally had my first math teacher that made me like math. And then I started seeing it as a puzzle, and the solution was like solving the puzzle. And it became kind of fun. I kind of played a little mind game with myself that made math fun. And I think I can help you with that even more by having you apply the things, the skills, and the knowledge that we learn about math in this class. I think I can help be that teacher for you if you're already a fan of math, or if you don't like math, maybe I can help you out with that by having you do things that you would do in the real world with these skills. So anyway, I think I've covered everything. Tomorrow we have social studies, and I hope you all have a great night. No assignments tonight yet. Starting 3rd grade math review on Wednesday, and I will send you something tomorrow.